So today we have a question from YouTube, which brings me to the point. If you guys have questions you'd like to see on this channel, definitely ask them, and I will be getting to them. So let's see what we got. We have JL Keener77 saying, "Hi Todd, can you address the issue of whether or not a guy should ever give his number to a woman rather than taking her number?" First of all, whenever you ask me a question that has always or never in it, or ever, which is kind of like never, there's always an answer, which is there aren't absolutes in game. There's gray areas, okay? So should you ever? I'm sure there is a situation. Should you never? I'm sure there is a situation where you should not. So just whenever you're asking questions, don't be black and white. But let's address this question as it is. Should you ever give your number to a woman rather than asking for her number? I would say that no matter what, you want to keep things in your hands, or you want to have an ability to follow up, because women, they're interesting. Women are interesting creatures in the sense that in that moment, they can really like you and really have every intention of following through. And an hour later, that can completely change because they met someone else, or they got drunk, or they remembered they have a boyfriend, or whatever other thing is going on. And so you want things in your hands. I actually had a friend of mine, he actually was mentioning from online, he'd had girls that had like stopped messaging him and like deleted him or deleted the match from online, but he had some kind of social media information. He followed up an hour later on social media, ended up hooking up with them, right? So the girl actually overtly rejected him, and then an hour later, suddenly it was on, and they ended up, meeting up, having sex. They dated for, I think, like a month or so. Okay, so women are very fickle in the sense, to be fair, people are very fickle, but women more so because I think they can get away with it more in socially. But they do tend to change with the spur of the moment a little bit, and so you don't want to rely on moment to moment how she feels. For example, she gets your number, she forgets, something else comes up, becomes a lesser priority. Whereas if you have her number, you could follow up with her the next day. You have the ball in your court. You have a little more power. That said, if the girl is trying to close you, that's better than you trying to close her. I much prefer the girl to be asking for my number first. Now I'm going to make sure when I give her my number that we exchange and I have a way to contact her as well. But if she is bought in enough to contact me, absolutely that's good. Or after a date, if the girl wants to contact me first, that's a better situation. So the fact of her asking or the fact of her wanting your number is a good thing, but the fact of you putting it completely out of your own hands, you are going to lose a lot of leads that way, and you are going to definitely miss a lot of opportunities if you don't have that possibility. Most girls that you end up sleeping with at some point won't be entirely positive the entire time, right? So if your game relies on them being positive and chasing you at every moment, you're going to falter a lot. You'd like to have them chase as much as possible, but you'd like to have the resources so that if they don't chase, you can pick up the slack.